Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, I have to deal with an issue, so I'm going to ask everyone to clear the courtroom for a minute. I will tell you all this, that I'm clearing the physical courtroom. I'm not turning off live stream. I believe next door is live stream. I believe it still is. I'm not sure. Do we know that? Anyone know?
Which one?
Right next door?
The 309 is no longer.
So it's not being on. But you can watch it on the New Jersey Judiciary. I just can't have you physically in the courtroom with what I need to do right now. So I don't want you to think that you can't watch it somewhere outside. You just can't watch it in here. Okay? And I'll bring you back in before we start. I'll take a break so that you guys can all come back in. I wouldn't do that to you.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, just number 9. Put him right in his regular seat. Morning, sir. How are you?
Morning. Good.
So, something came to my attention in reference to on Wednesday walking out from the courthouse at the end of the day, that there may have been some conversation that went on between yourself and a sheriff's officer, and I wanted to just hear it from you if there was any conversation. The way it was relayed to me is that it had to do something with the photographs that were observed on the screen. If you recall, do you recall having some form of a conversation with the sheriff's officer about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you tell me what the conversation was, please?
Let me think. Oh boy. Jeez. I probably made reference to the fact that that was something about the trauma of the photo.
Okay.
And I think I might have said something to him like, I guess this is nothing new for you guys. You probably see this once in a while. I think it was something to that effect. That's what I recall. I don't.
Okay, that's fine. So, when you say the trauma of the photo, tell me what you meant by that when you said that.
The trauma that those folks might have probably experienced.
Okay.
And
so the trauma to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how, when you saw the photos, if at all, how it impacted you.
Just sadness.
Okay. Now, we discussed, if you remember, one of the open-ended questions, we discussed this particular issue.
Right.
Because we foreshadowed that this would be something that would come up.
Right.
And it's my recollection that every one of the jurors had indicated that they would be able to put any emotion aside and be able to still decide this case based upon all the evidence. Correct. And not based on the photos. I just want to make sure you are still comfortable, that you saw what you saw, and that's fine. If you are in any way feeling any sort of way just by looking at those photos, I need for you to tell me now, because obviously it's important to both sides here.
No, I think that happened, and in that moment that happened, and then I was like, okay, just clear it out. I was like, okay, that's what it is, and just move on. I tend to do that. Things can impact me, and then I'll process it, and then just go back to square one, so it doesn't like linger.
Okay. So, whatever that trauma was to the victims in this case, I need to know that your emotions that you had, even if you put them aside, that you would be able to still decide this case, because you have to decide not only that these individuals have died, and also that who the individual was who did this.
Right.
So I need to make sure that you still have an open mind as to all of the evidence in this case. You're going to evaluate all of it and not just the fact that you're looking at those photos. Are you going to be able to do that?
I feel like I will. Yeah.
Okay. I want to get a little bit more from you if you don't mind.
Sure.
I don't know if it applied to you when we had those voir dire questions. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Folks, can you keep it down, please? Thank you.
I don't know if it applied to you or not, but sometimes when people would answer my questions when we were going through voir dire, if they gave me an answer that maybe it could mean something else, I would ask it again. And so I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I heard you, what you just said, but I just want to make sure. I need to know, and both parties need to know, that the photos are not going to impact your overall analysis in this case. So can you say that with certainty that you can do that, or are you still feeling like, yeah, it's still bothering me?
No, I can say it with certainty. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, when it hits you, it hits you. It's like, whoosh. I mean, there's lots of things through life where if I don't hold it in that moment and then be able to move on, that I'm just captured into the past and I'm ready to move on.
Okay. All right. So you feel like you could still be fair and impartial both to the state and to the defense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. That conversation that you had with the officer, was there anybody else that was a part of that conversation?
He and I were on the back of the line. We were just together.
Okay, so there was nobody else there. And can you tell us about that when you talked to him? Was it in a high voice? Was it a low voice? Meaning that
Soft.
Soft?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel, based upon what you saw during that conversation, that any of the other jurors heard what you said?
No.
Okay.
I made sure I was far enough back because I didn't want to.
Okay. Let me now take it past the sheriff's officer for a second. Understanding how you felt on Wednesday night, were you able to continue with complying with the charge of not talking to people that night about it or talk to anybody else about it? You had to kind of keep it to yourself. Were you able to do that? If you weren't, I understand. But
I mentioned a couple of things to my wife about it was a heavy day.
Okay.
That was about it.
You just said heavy day?
Heavy day, yeah.
Did you say anything more than that?
I said that they showed photos today and it was really impactful.
Okay.
And she wanted to know more. I said, but she does not. I know you can't talk about it.
Okay. Did she make any comments to you as a result of what you said?
No.
Okay. All right. Is there anything about the conversation that you had with your wife that you feel that could impact you and your ability to be fair and impartial?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Separate and apart from this conversation, is there anything else that has happened during the course of this trial? Any emotions that have come up that would affect your ability to be fair and impartial?
No.
Okay. Do you feel like you can sit on this jury and decide this case, continue on?
I do.
Okay. Any doubt in your mind?
No. I mean, even when Wednesday happened, I was still locked into like objectivity. It was so. Yeah, I feel competent.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. This is between the four walls, so if you don't mind, we're going to keep this here. I'm not going to say anything to them, so please don't tell them either. And let me ask you this, just to round it out. Have you heard anyone else talking about the trial or anything else, or make any comments to you about those pictures or anything?
Folks in here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Just people are just you got looks and we're like exchanging information just through our eyes. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, but no one said anything about it? Okay. All right, you can go back in the jury room. Thank you,
Sorry
sir.
for
No, there's nothing to be sorry about, sir. Thank you, though. I appreciate your honesty. Anything anyone want to put on the record? I feel comfortable with what he said.
Same for the state judge.
Okay. Defense?
Nothing at this time, Judge.
Okay. For the record purposes, after listening to juror number 9, I found him to be very credible in his responses to me. I found that under the circumstances, the pictures, they showed what they showed. And we, as the attorneys and the court, we looked at question number 1 to the jurors and asked them specifically because we knew that these photos could have impact. This juror remained consistent with what his answers was back during voir dire. I don't have any concerns about him and his ability to be fair and impartial in this case. I do not find in any way, shape, or form that there's been any impact on any of the other jurors. I find that the sheriff's officer and the juror were back away from the rest of the jurors, that the other jurors didn't hear those 2 comments that were made. And based upon that, I'm going to allow juror number 9 to continue on with our case, and we'll see if he ends up being a part of our case or not. Nobody knows until the alternates are picked after the charge is given to the jury. With that being said, is there anything else we need to do before we go back and bring the jurors out?
No, but Judge, I just need to remind the court the state needs to rest.
No, I do. I remember that. But anything other than that?
No, sir.
Anything else from the defense before I bring them back out? Okay. I just don't want to bring them out and then us come right to sidebar in 2 seconds. So if there's something, let's just do it now. We're good? Okay. All right. We can bring them out. Thank you.